Good day. Hope you're well. Welcome back, and welcome to War 7 of Alliance War Season 57 with the Book of the Vishanti. Looking to continue that Master's push. We've had a good stretch. Will it continue? Wait and see. Today we got two top-tier tech champs. You see Shuri, you see Prowler, and they're going to be doing all the lifting today. We got the Wags for support. Let's get moving. So first things first, we got this Fury here. We debated on me potentially taking this fight with Wags, but the reality is that Prowler basically bypasses this entire node. Do I need the power backs? Of course not. Do we put them on? Of course. Max safety. The main node and threat in this fight is that there is a falter that will hit you every 10 hits, and then when you hit into them, they'll lose less power when they throw a special. Prowler, of course, is falter immune, so we are not worried about any of that stuff going on. Want to make sure he doesn't go unblockable. Push him past that mark and past that bar of power. Not optimal for the Prowler playstyle, but this fight is about safety. It is not about speed. Decided to go ahead and reapply my Incinerate. Nice little relic intercept there. Now we want to end this first life. Get into life 2. Prowler's fantastic. Go ahead and push Fury past the 2 bars of power. We don't have much to worry about. Bleed immune too. Here we're just waiting for him to tick down a little bit. I know that if I would have gone there, I wouldn't have killed him. So I'm just trying to be smart. Go low and slow. Throw this special 2 at a point where we'll actually kill. And even though we don't have the Incinerates on, we get good RNG. And that does indeed take him down. Easy squeezy. Prowler's such a great champ. Really been debating about my tech rank 4 when that time comes, and he's certainly in the conversation. Certainly in that conversation. We're going to take this next fight with him also. This is the typical Domino placement. It puts bleeds on her as I hit her. She's going to purify them and gain power. I'm going to just kind of watch that power and do Prowler things. We don't care that much about the exhaustions because it doesn't really tie to Prowler's abilities. He's not, it would technically reduce our crit chance and crit damage. But since we are operating based on if we would crit and not actually needing to crit, it doesn't affect him like that. And so now we basically just want to build to a special 2, get our Furies built up, and do Prowler things. You see we're lining it up. We throw off that special 2, hoping for some good crit RNG. We get good crit RNG, and that is one dusted Domino. 37 seconds. Prowler's just wild. Now moving to the first big threat of the day. I definitely had a handful of fights I was nervous about. We've got this this Serpent here on 25. Pretty classic placement. They had banned many of the counters, including our girl Dazzler, which is why she's not on the team. But what they didn't ban was Shuri. And so we're going to put a Wags on. That way we can stun freely. We're going to probably pop some sort of boost here, I would imagine. I don't know what I would add. I do an invul just to be safe. That makes sense. That makes sense. And now since it's Thorns, which is based on damage back when you make contact, we're going to go in and we're going to Shuri this Serpent. And you'll see how that goes. You know how Shuri works. We're doing specials, throwing a lot of special ones, getting a lot of crits, getting a lot of damage over time. Not a ton of quick fights, but you know, she's a ramp champ. So the first part of this fight is going to go pretty slow. And the backside will be a little less slow. I want to go ahead and work the parries to get my charges up, make sure I'm maximizing, getting my shocks applied, getting my crits in. And really the goal is just control spacing, bait special 1s as much as possible. Naturally, right off the bat, when I say that, we go to special 2. But really, we want to stick to the special 1. All right, we want to keep it pretty safe. Shuri's a tank. She gets all those extra armors. So that's very nice. Now we're just working on the refresh. And yeah, obviously the reason we want to bait special 1s is so we can be more aggressive. Right? We really want to control spacing in this fight. The more power he gains, the worse it gets. Shuri can block unblockable specials when she's awakened. And so I get kind of that Kushala effect of not having to worry about dexing, not having to worry about a lot of stuff because I can just block the special and have a good time. So unfortunately, he got rid of my basic shocks there. I like to keep 10 regular shocks on these champions when I'm using Shuri for both despair and to maximize my crit charges when I'm throwing my special one. You get twice as many. So I think I'm going to work my way back to 10, but I don't know that for sure. That was not the path if I want to do that. You can see he's 2/3 down, right? And we're here basically just wanting to maintain. It's all about maintenance. I'm going to hold my striker for the end, the classic Battlegrounds move, to make sure I can buy myself time once he hits second life. But as you can see, like we're at 95% health almost. He's about to be ticked down. Those shocks are refreshed. This is, it's going better than I imagined. I was pretty nervous about these fights. You know, I usually do. Helps my prep for sure. But, you know, we've hit death immunity here. And he's just nothing he can do. We're going to finish this fight over 95% health. Shuri, OP, best Serpent counter confirmed? Question mark? Probably not. All right. Moving on, we got this Killmonger here. You know, the interesting thing about my team this war was that many of the fights could be interchanged. So, you know, initially I was assigned Prowler for this fight. I was like, you know, I think I want to Shuri it. I know she does the fight really well once you get to your special one cycles, but I kind of decided, you know what? Power control is premium. And so that's what I wanted to go for in this fight. And I also hadn't really tried it before. I did some duels, but, you know, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. You see what that's going to look like here shortly. Of course, we want to get the typical incinerate up. You can see that pushes him right to a bar and 9/10 of power, but at the same time, well, that means I just got my Furies that much quicker. Now we're basically just going to let him, you know, get some stuff, throw some specials, apply my incinerates as I can, as I need to, throw the special twos. But again, Prowler, super clutch. He's a great champion. We throw off that first special two, stops him right there. He takes him down 3/4 of the way. Go ahead and throw that, even though, you know, it's not going to apply the incinerate because I was slow. Scrubbing it up. You know how it goes. Try to get my incinerate back on. I'm very confident that I tried to heavy right there, and it just didn't work. But it's okay, because we're going to get to our special two. We're going to launch this bad boy off, and big boosted Prowler is going to cook that Killmonger. Let's go. Now to the fun stuff. First things first, we've got this Sentinel on 43. Incinerate shock. Again, the initial plan here actually was for me to use Shuri for this fight. But after talking to my officer, thinking through it, I decided to go ahead, maximize the focus on power control, and kind of save my potions because Shuri is going to be used for another fight, and it will be the next fight, which you'll see when we get there. In fact, if you've clicked on it, I probably put it in the title. You already know what's cooking up next, but I'm not going to say it yet. I'm not going to say it yet. First things first, we got this big Sentinel here, rank 4. And the goal basically is to hit him during shock, or excuse me, hit him during incinerate, because I'm immune. Pop the invul, in case I'm going to eat a special 3 early in the match. And ultimately, I just want him to throw specials when he gets to his power gain, so that way he's power locked, and it's not an issue. Lead off like any good Prowler fight, get our incinerates up. Now we're just hitting him. All right, this is just getting as much of this stuff in as we can before we get to the shock phase. And once we're in shock phase, we're chilling. Big chilling. I think I'm going to wait out and reapply my incinerate. Yeah, that is indeed what I just chose to do. Now again, back to building power. He's already got his analysis charges up. We did find out later, by the way, that that does increase the duration and ability accuracy of his debuffs. So I'm glad I didn't hit too much in the shock phase. Didn't mess with it. Here we're just going to wait out again. Going to reapply our incinerate when we get to the incinerate phase so I can hit him freely. And you can see that that shock comes in. It's doing some damage for sure. Hit him with the falter up. Decent RNG, but not great. now we back off. Get back into the next cycle. Again, it's not BGs, it's war. We gotta chill, we gotta lock in, gotta pay close attention, make sure we know what's going down. And now we're getting toward that phase. I got my eyeballs up there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I know that power gain's coming soon. I know I need to be prepared for it. And it looks like it's gonna be next phase because we're gonna be chilling during this shock phase. The boss fight that I'm taking next is gonna be similar in length, but a little more action in that one. Here we're gonna apply this, get that nice little intercept, throw the special, hopefully get some decent RNG, which is okay. It's not great, but he throws that. And now he's power locked, so I know we're in a good spot. And I don't care. I'm just selling, or just sending. And I take note real quick about how many shocks got applied to me. Again, that's tied to the ability accuracy that he's got. But we just need to close it out. No more Prowler fights, no more potions to use. Let's go. And now to the fight I was actually most nervous about. You would think it would be Serpent, but no. No, we got this Big Daddy Zola here. Coming into this, I'm the last one to go, and I had 3 attack bonuses to work with. So you're gonna see me check here, probably momentarily. Yeah, there it is. I'm confirming, okay. I can die twice to this fight, and we're still okay. Now, I haven't died yet this season, so of course I don't want to die. Never the plan, never the goal. But shout out to my man Trap. He put out a video on this earlier this season. He doesn't really make war videos, but he did show him Shuriing a Zola boss. And so I took that and I learned from it, built a little bit of a template, and then tried to do something similar. And so the plan here is basically to get my shocks up, right? To get to my crits and stuff. And I'm just going to use my untouchable to get my heavy knockdowns. And so basically this is just going to be a slow ramp fight, you know, try to bait specials, not do dumb stuff, not get myself in a bad spot, keep spacing, and then just going to bait specials and knock them down to refresh shocks. As little as possible at first because I want to get my charges up. But, you know, you can see there, he doesn't bite. Go ahead. I've found that when he runs in and does that medium, he's pretty quick on the draw for the next hit or the heavy. So it's pretty safe to get your second parry and then go straight into your untouchable, and he's going to heavy you and you'll just counter his heavy. And so the fight's starting off suboptimal for sure. That's not how I wanted it to go. Thankfully here he dashes in, I get the refresh. I'm definitely trying to build up a little quicker than this. You know, I know in Trap's video he was almost a timeout, and so I'm very cognizant of what I'm trying to do here. Get a nice little parry, get sneaky, trying to get my refreshes again right into throwing the heavy. And so the goal here is once I get to about 25 to 30 passive shocks, I'm actually going to go to my special 2, so that way I can refresh regular shocks in this fight. Use that for the phase, get the miss, and it's once you get the process down, you know, it's not looking good right now. Health battle's relatively equal, but again, Shuri's a ramp champ and she's just getting started. I think right about now I might do one more special 1. I might go to special 2 here. We go, we get our knockdowns. Yeah, get our knockdown. And I think I'm going to build a special 2. I think this is where I made the decision here. I said, okay, you know, my shocks are doing all right. Let's get as many passive shocks on him as we can. And then we're going to use those to set up some regular shocks. And you can see it's speeding up. And now the damage is going to kick into gear. And right about this point in time, once I got to that special 2, now I was feeling good. Now I was looking at it like, oh yeah, baby. Now we just ticking him down. No biggie. We're blocking hits. We're doing Shuri stuff. I'm looking at the clock. He's 3/4 down and ticking. And I'm just happy as a clam because I know as long as I don't do anything dumb, this fight's going to be done and over with. Done and dusted. You can see after that special 2, by the time we build up to the first special 1, he's gone down almost 20%. Rank 4 Zola boss. No biggie though. throw the untouchable, get our refresh, ticking for 8K, 16K a second. Done and dusted. And that closes out the war. I mean, as you could see before, that means we got ourselves a nice little dub by a few attack bonuses. Shuri, Chef Shuri cooking. And big shout out to Ja and Matt, crushing out those first 2 MVP spots. We got ourselves a nice little W here. It's been a good push so far this season. Don't know if we'll be able to maintain it though. I guess since the season's basically over, we'll already know, but am I gonna tell you? Of course not. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well, and until next time, peace.